let's just take, can I have each of you maybe go over just some best practices, things that you feel like worked during the month of August to get those 10 challenge packs, and maybe even talk about the struggle there was to get to those 10 challenge packs. Stacy, let's have you go first.
Hi, everyone. Okay. Let me think for a second. Okay. Well, basically, a lot of my monthly challenge pack sales come from relationships that I've been building in the previous months. Obviously, we know that. So I feel like it's a constant cycle. If you're continuing to add to your network, if you're continuing to build relationships, you're going to have those people who a particular post might have just spoken to them, or they just happen to be ready at that minute and they message you and they come on board. If I find that I'm running low on that, or I need people to message, or I feel like I'm talking to the same people, one of my practices is I will go through my own wall, my own Facebook wall, and I will look at the posts I created for the past 2 weeks or maybe week, and message or comment and like or show up or, get on their page, all the people that have liked and commented on those posts in the past week to 10 days. So they don't necessarily have to comment on it, even if they liked it. I will still go back and, reach out to those individual people. So basically, I think that's how I get my numbers every month.
Perfect. There's no right answer. I mean, you got them. So I guess your answer is a right answer as well. Very good. Stephanie, let's have you go over what worked for you.
Basically, I will be so honest. So long story short, my husband started his own business a few months ago, and we opened a shop this month.
The donut shop, yeah?
So, So I this has been probably the hardest month of my life, between running my business, being there for his business, having a baby, and twin boys. So it's been crazy. And my Success Club goal was 50. And I was like, and then we opened the shop and I was like, I'm insane because I'm just going to go for friggin' 10 because I was like, how am I going to do this? But because I just am always talking to people, when I could work, I was checking with people and people were seeing my posts. I mean, I had great shift shop results, and I was sharing those, and I was just doing what I was doing. Like when I worked a full-time job at the hospital, working 14 hours a day, and I just worked when I could. And people, it's just basically, I'm a little nervous actually about next month because I'm like, all of my Success Club points. I mean, I have 10 people that I'm talking to right now that I think are going to close on challenge packs before the end of the month. So I think I'm going to be Success Club 30 something. But I know like Stacy had said, it's everyone for next month is who I was talking to this month. So I was able to hit it this month because I've been talking to so many people. So I'm hoping that I talked to enough people this month, started new relationships for next month, because for me, it always is the lag. It's and I tell my coaches that all the time. I'm like, everyone you're talking to months ago, that's who you're going to have success with this month. So whoever you're talking to this month is going to be September, October, November. Because very rarely, I've had maybe one person a month will be as soon as I invite them, they say yes right then. And it's usually the relationships we're building. So same thing as Stacy. But yeah, I just feel like it's just I'm doing positive affirmations. I'm doing as much personal development as I can because I feel like I truly needed it this month because I was I don't know how I'm going to get through some days. And maybe that's helped me as well.
Very cool. And I followed your donut shop journey. I mean, you guys are very successful, right? I mean, people are selling out daily.
Yeah, it's insane. In an hour.
Congratulations.
100 dozen an hour. It's crazy.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Well, just setting people up for a workout.
Well, I've actually got some customers in line. They're like, wait, you do Beachbody, right? I'm like, yeah. So it's so funny how it works. Yeah. We do. Well, when he started the business, long story short, it was on honor of his mother. And I said, I go, babe, you don't want to do green juices? He's like, well, she wants to do a bakery. And I said, all right, we got to do them as wholesome as possible. So we do use no fake anything. We use local farms for ingredients. They're super as wholesome as they can be. So that's kind of where they kind of connect together.
And I think I don't think anybody else can give excuses because you have every excuse under the sun and you made it work. So
I know. Well,
congratulations on
that's
that.
what I said to my coaches. I'm like, I did a video on our team thing. I'm like practically in tears. I'm like, I don't know how I'm doing this, but like, you just can't make excuses. You know, you can't.
Very good. All right, Ashley, bring us home on how you got to your 10 challenge packs.
So I am relentless with recruiting coaches. So every week I have done a sneak peek group for coaching. So those are, I have recruited half of the coaches I got this month were already challengers, and then half, like 10, so 10 were already challengers, 10 are new to Beachbody. So those were obviously challenge packs. And then every Tuesday I post my transformation or one of my coaches or challengers transformations. And then about 3 to 5 times a week, I post a workout video from that day with my story, something that really connects to my avatar and to my audience. And so I get people who are like, I read your post and it's like you were talking to me. So I just really am intentional with my content and connecting to my avatar, sharing my story, and sharing the coaching opportunity like daily.
And that's consistency at its finest right there. Ashley's perfectionist at that. And it just goes to show that you can't put your story out there enough. If you're consistent with that, you will speak to the people who you need to, and they will pick up what you're putting down. That's awesome. Congratulations. Okay. So I want to make sure we get into today's topic of time management. Probably one of the toughest things to deal with, especially if you got little ones at home, and if not, you got a crazy life. I can't think of a coach who doesn't have a crazy lifestyle because you got to make things work. And maybe I don't know if you guys want to start off with questions if you're struggling in this area, but I do want to know as well, kind of what you do, what you're planning to do if you guys are help. The reason I say that is because I just got off a Zoom call with one of my coaches, and she was so excited that her kids, this is the first time that both her kids are in school. She's like, I've never had so much time to myself. And she's like, with all this time, she has signed up for a new coach. Like she's been so intentional with her time. And then I also talked with the deputy coach who has gone through some struggles with her health and had to take work off, but she's using this time to be productive, and she's signing up lots of coaches as well. Anyways, I know we all have crazy lifestyles, so I would like to maybe go around if all of you could, and whether it's here's what I found that's worked for me with time management, or I'm working on, or I don't have very good time management help. This is where we are. I think we can all share ideas of how to be kind of going off of what Steph and Ashley have said, being so intentional, being so prescribed, because those pocket moments of time have to be utilized to the very end with things that will help grow your business. You're not going to become successful by chance, and it's not going to happen if you don't make it happen. So we need to make it happen and put right to the ground. We got to be working. So, Corinne, let's have you start off. I know time management, you and I have talked quite a bit about that, and I know with kids going back, so let's kind of hear what's going on in your mind.
Hi, everyone. So right now I'm not practicing good time management, but in the beginning part of the summer I was, and I know what works for me. It's just a matter of, like anything else, actually doing it and starting it and being consistent with it. I actually had made a schedule with my family for the first half of the summer, and then we went on a 3-week vacation, which is why we're just getting back and not like school's about to start. So we haven't gotten back into the routine again. But I had everything laid out for them and for me, so they knew when it was, mommy's time to work. They knew when it was fun time. They knew when it was family time. They knew like around what time we'd be having lunch. Like they knew everything. And for my little one who doesn't read, I drew pictures for her, and they absolutely loved it. I know that my kids love structure. Most kids do. I used to work with kids, so I'm very aware of that. And me personally, I work very well with structure, with a plan. I'm not really a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person, which is what makes it difficult for me to work in pockets of time, because for whatever reason, I feel like I need to have X amount of time to sit down and start and complete or get through my list of challengers I want to check in with for the day, or my list of, people I want to invite for the day, versus like, okay, I have 5 minutes here, let me invite somebody. I have 5 minutes here, let me invite somebody. I personally don't operate well that way. And it's something that I'm working on, because it's like an all or nothing mentality. So if I don't find that 1 hour to sit down and get through a strict power hour for the day, I'm basically coming close to doing nothing, which is obviously not okay. But I do know that when I work, so now my kids are going back to school next week, and I'm going to be doing exactly what I did at the start of the summer, creating a schedule for myself for what I'm going to be doing during the day with my business and with house stuff and shopping and all those responsibilities that I have. And then, of course, for my kids for the after school hours, because it's always my goal when they're home from school not to be working, which is why I quit my job to do Beachbody full time, so I could do that while they are in school. So that's my plan.
Perfect. I'm looking around the Zoom here, and I don't know who necessarily called in, but we love you. But I think most of you do Beachbody full time. I don't think Steph with her side jobs now. I don't know, but I don't think anybody that does this as a part time. I think most of you dive into this full speed ahead now. My question then, and maybe let me ask Ashley if it's okay, because I know it's crazy busy right now with how many things you're doing. But one of the concerns I have with time management is what we do to help grow our business, be proactive versus reactive. And one of the things that I feel like maybe we do too much is we are that fireman that puts out fires, that is your attention drawn over here, all of a sudden it's drawn over here. And while you stay busy, it may not be the best activities that will help move your business in the right direction. So, and Ashley, and anybody can speak to this, but I'm going to go to Ashley first. Have you run into that issue? And if so, how do you manage that so that business moves forward, but people still get the attention they need?
So I know a lot of people love the miracle morning, but that does not work for me, because the second I wake up, my daughter wakes up. So instead of waking up early, I stay up late at night, and that's what I do. And so I really write all of my posts for the following day the night before. So all of my social media posts are pretty much curated ahead of time. Sometimes I'll tweak them right before I post them. With messages, I am just very intentional. When she's napping is when I go through my email inbox first. And then if I don't get to my Facebook messages, then they wait until 9 o'clock at night when I work again, and people wait. And I think somebody once told me, we teach people how to treat us. So I do not respond to messages right away. I'm not a slave to my inbox, so I'm not reactive in that sense. When I respond to people, I never apologize, because they know I'm running a business and you are going to get my time and attention, and you're going to get my full attention when I give it to you. And so same with my team. They know that I only check my messages at twice a day, and to not expect a super quick response from me. And what happens is they typically find the answer themselves before I can get back to them. So then that kind of creates leadership. So I try to be very calm and just collect, because I get so many messages a day. And at first I was having a lot of anxiety. I need to respond to these people. I need to be on it. And now I'm just no, when I get to it, I'll get to it. And I just try to do as much as I can on the front end, so that throughout the day, I can really just kind of enjoy the day and the journey in the process.
So then your business, as far as you work in your business, we're not necessarily responding to messages, but where you're doing productive, proactive time, is that blocked out as well, or is that throughout the day? Do you do? This is I'm not phrasing this right, but it sounds like you do most of your work in certain chunks, and then you leave. Do you leave the rest of the day to just enjoy with your family, or? What does that look like?
So my routine is I wake up, I do like my affirmations, my journaling, I do my workout, have breakfast. Then my daughter takes her nap. I edit my workout video. I respond to my messages. And then I do a lot of live videos in all the groups that I'm in. I do live videos, and then I'll respond to a few more messages later. And then I take off from like 5 p.m. until like 9 or 10 p.m. And then from 10 until the wee hours of the night is when I do a lot of my work. And I do not do anything fun until I get through all my messages and all my Woofu applications. So I don't make pretty pictures. Like right now I'm trying to create a new pretty banner for my sneak peek groups, but I'm like, I've been wanting to do it for like 3 weeks now, but I'm like, nope, I can't do that until I get through these tasks. So that's like my advice.
That's what I'm glad you brought that up, and maybe this is how we can transition. Is because that's something as well that I think a lot of us fall into is creating content. We find joy in doing that, whether it be that banner, whether it be that PDF or training or whatever, and we feel like we're being productive, and in a sense we are, because we're setting up things for the future. But I also believe that while it does feel comfortable, because we're not necessarily bothering anybody, we're not inviting, it's something that we have control over. But it's not necessarily moving your business forward. It's not those action items that get you to sign up more people. As awesome as a pretty banner is, I don't know if that's going to be the one thing that's going to tip the scale for a coach. It's nice to have a professional looking website, blog, whatever. But what it comes down to are those wild behaviors to move that business forward. Joe, I know that you have toyed with some of this stuff. I don't know if you're able to chat. Are you on? No? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Let's continue the chat about. He's listening. Great. How you guys continue to help structure time to move your business forward without putting out too many fires. How you've managed that? Anybody want to chime in, or because I know Stacey, you've been around for quite some time. Maybe you can address that.
Up to speed. Well, okay. Wait. I'm terrible at it. Terrible. I am not intentional with my time. I am not organized. To a fault, kind of what I need to, I know what I need to do. So I just need to do it. Like I'm like on and off all day long constantly. So like I'll fold a load of laundry and come back. I'll empty the dishwasher and come back. I'll make a phone call and come back. It's just constant all day long, and it's not intentional and it's not organized. And honestly, like I'm running this business by the seat of my pants. And it amazes me sometimes, because I feel like if I really was organized and intentional, I would probably be so much more successful. And I'm aware of this, don't get me wrong. I need to really just set hours, or just or like set an alarm, like a 60-minute block, and just sit and just do the vitals and be intentional. I'm very bad, like Ashley, you had said something about not responding right away to messages. I'm really bad with that. Like I am on call 24 hours a day. I'm not a night person. So after 10 o'clock at night, when that phone starts dinging, I'm like, oh no, I got to draw the line somewhere. And I just don't answer it, because I just don't have it in me anymore, and then I won't even look at it. I shut it on silent, because otherwise I'll be tempted to, pick it up. So at 10 o'clock, it's pretty much off, for the night. But, I have a lot of work to do.
Well, and I think I don't think you're alone. I think you saw a lot of us nodding in that regards. And you brought the point of, man, if I'm this successful flying by the seat of my pants, how much more successful can I be if I become more intentional? So if we know what to do, what's holding us back? And maybe that's, I don't know if somebody wants to answer that question. Joe's jumping in. Was that you?
That was, yeah, sorry.
Oh.
What's holding me back? I don't know. You know, I've always been that type of person. Like, I'll tell you a really quick funny story. I used to be a school teacher, and I had a partner that, you know, we kind of worked together. We were very good friends. And she would leave school with this big, huge tote bag filled with books and planning and papers, and I would just walk out the door with nothing, right? And then she would come in the morning, and my lesson plan book was in school and everything. She would come in the morning, and she'd be like, well, what are you doing today? I'm like, I don't know. You know, I literally winged it every day. And she had a full plan, from A to Z all week. And now the funny thing is, she's a mom of 6 children and homeschools. How? Because she's so flipping organized. I would die if I homeschooled. 1 second. What? Yeah, it was.
Oh, sorry. Have I been muted the whole time?
Oh, yeah, I was like, I thought that was me and my crazy house.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Sorry, tomorrow starts school here.
There you go. So let's move on. You know, Stephanie, you've been busy with the donut shop thing and trying to get. What's going on in your mind as far as how can you be more intentional and more time structured, and is that something that you are working on right now?
Oh yeah, it's been the struggle bus since. So I had my first baby in October, so I went from full-time job at the hospital, and then when I had cash, I resigned and became a full-time coach. So that was like a huge transition for me to figure out how to do that. And I thought that like maybe I'd have time having a newborn. No, I didn't have time. So then I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to be a full-time coach at home with a new baby. I was trying to figure out that whole thing. Then Mike left his job, started the business. So my whole like 9 months has been complete chaos. And Christina Sullins is my not my upline, but she's my coach's coach. And she did a call recently on it. And she just talks a lot about outsourcing your personal life, whether it's grocery shopping, laundry, cleaning. Like, she's like, you have to have intentional time. And she said to me, you know, even though you're a working stay-at-home mom, you know, maybe you have to have someone that watches cash for 2 hours a day, or someone to help you so you have that focus time. Because for me right now, I literally like, when things kind of calm down, I know that I need to get up early in the morning, get work done before Cash wakes up, because as soon as he's up, it's me and him time. And when he goes down for a nap, that's when I get my workout in, because that's like the first thing I do is what I have to do for myself. And then I try to get invites done, because I know that's what moves my business forward. And then he wakes up, and then it's like, okay, when he goes down for a nap, what's my next plan? But like, sometimes he naps for 30 minutes, sometimes he naps for 2 hours. So it's really hard to figure it out. And that's why I feel like I have been living in chaos for 9 months, and I do work all the time. I'm sometimes up at 5 a.m. I'm sometimes up till 2 a.m. And I'm tired, and yeah, I don't know. So it's definitely a struggle for me, but I feel like I have this hope, and I think I see some routine coming into my life in the next few months. But just like, who did the call recently? Haley. Like, I loved her tracking system, and I saw her at Summit, and I just loved how like focused she is. And then some people do like timers. They set a timer for 10 minutes, and like they just invite in that time. And I have also, I'm kind of someone that has done like, I'll just like invite a ton of people when I have like an hour of time. I just invite, and then maybe the next day I don't get as much invites done, but I do follow-ups. And so I don't always do necessarily like a power hour of like the vitals throughout that. I might just do like chunks of time of doing different vitals, because I know that inviting is going to move my business forward. So I do that when I have the most time, and kind of do chunks and like in that way, instead of like doing like invite 3, follow up with 3, yeah. So I'm just still playing around with it, because I've had so many changes in the past year that it's hard to find routine.
Good points to bring up. So I feel like I'm doing too much of the question asking. Is there somebody that has a question or a point that they need to bring up that maybe we haven't addressed? And the reason I asked is...
I have a question.
Oh, sure, great.
Ashley, I just was looking at your page because listening to you gave me anxiety because you just seem so together and so intentional and so purposeful that it literally gave me anxiety to listen. And that's a fault of mine. Now, why does it say I've moved? And I've seen other coaches do that. Why do you move pages? What does that mean?
I only use my like page now. I don't use my personal page at all, except for to do rank advancements on my personal page. So my like page I'm 100% over there, and that's where all my traffic and customers and coaches come from.
But don't you find that less people see your stuff on your business page?
Yes, but I mean, I have a lot of followers now, so I still get a lot of engagement. Did you check out my like page?
Well, I clicked on where it said you moved, so I went over there.
Go there, because I have a lot of engagement and a lot of followers. So, and that's the perk is, right, like with your personal page, you can only have so many friends. So you can have a ton of followers. Right. But I promote my page every day for $3 a day. I did the Jesse Reagan training, and that pays off exponentially.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, maybe it sounds like we're wrapping up with this. And listen, so if you have one final question or concern you guys have, I hope we all have that little twinge of I need to do better, and I do as well, because as I mentioned earlier, if you were to look at the top 10 or top 50 or whoever coaches, while they have stark different personalities, they all are intentional with their business. They all manage their time very well. I think that's a consistent factor that they all have. Nobody gets to this top level of success by winging it. They have different personalities and they speak to different people. That's awesome. But they are so structured in how and when they post, how they use their time, and so forth. And that probably comes with practice. And there's something that works for you that may not work for everybody else, but it works for you. And you need to find out what that is. And then you need to help your coaches find out what that is as well. Because those people who have success find time to make this business work. And we've been around, I think all of us have been around long enough to see the ups and downs of giving our business enough attention and kind of slacking off on giving our business attention. So here's maybe something we can do as well. And if you have an accountability partner, use your accountability partner. If not, feel free to message me. But what I have done with a coach with time management, her problem was time management. We came to the decision of, okay, every single day I'm going to message you what I did, either during my power hour or at the end of the day. I'm going to send it with a selfie or however. It is simply an accountability thing. Today I did these things. Here's what I found that works. Here's what I found that didn't work, and here's what's going to improve tomorrow. And she got going. She got really good at this. And now, I haven't had to check in with much as her. Obviously, I'm keeping an eye on her to make sure she's progressing. But think about this. What makes this business work? It's not the workouts. It's not Shakeology. It's accountability. Hands down, that is the answer. It's accountability. So if that works for people to get transformations, I can guarantee you it's the exact same thing for you to improve your business. If you want your business to improve, have somebody hold you accountable. If you want your transformation to improve, have somebody hold you accountable. It's the exact same thing. And you have to, and you'll find out a time schedule. You'll know how to better manage your time because of that. And take advantage of this transition back into school. Take advantage of this time. Moms out there everywhere are like, oh my gosh, this is so great. I have time. We need to fill that, hopefully, with things that can improve them. We can get back into the groove, getting ready now for this fall season. Don't let this opportunity pass by without taking advantage of it and improving yourself. So, great call today, guys. Thank you so much for jumping on. I really appreciate the input and advice you guys gave. We will go ahead and adjourn for 2 weeks. But in the meantime, please do the accountability thing with time management. If you need me to do it, I'm happy to do it. If you have an accountability partner, reach out to them. And I'm curious, maybe we'll follow up in 2 weeks how time management has improved for you since we last chatted. So, all right, guys, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks.